Welcome back to Built by Bo. Today we're working on Smokey's 2.3 turbo build. I've got a lot of stuff done, a lot of stuff I want to show you, a lot of stuff I've learned. So as you can see behind me, I've got a table full of goodies and things to show you. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as you've probably already seen earlier in this video, I had this motor all stripped down, hot tanked, cleaned up, and honed. There is some scratches that were in this motor. Actually, the pistons were actually peppered as well. I'll add pictures of what I found inside the cylinders for scratches and also the peppered parts of the pistons. They honed out pretty well, not perfect, but it's good enough for what we're doing. Everything else here has all been cleaned up and reassembled. As we talked in earlier videos, I wanted to use Turbo Mustang's block and crank originally in this build, but with the crank being damaged from low oil pressure, I then thought, well, I'll just steal Smokey's crank, put it in Turbo Mustang's old motor, have the forged pistons and everything would be great. But as I did learn and tell you guys in earlier videos, the DIS motors have a different bolt pattern and a dowel for the crank sensor, which is not plumbed on the older blocks. So I thought, well, I'll just use this block. So that's fine. I stripped down this block, as you've seen earlier in the video, and it's all been hot tanked and honed. There is a couple of scratches in here, which I'll put a picture up so you can see. For the most part, it did hone out pretty well. It's probably could be the cause of why this engine did use a little bit of oil, and it probably should be bored to the next level, 30 over or something, and have new pistons. But with the shortage of parts right now, it's a little bit difficult and expensive to do, so we're not going to do that at this time. So once I got this motor stripped down and apart, started doing some literature on it, I found that the cranks actually aren't the same. So it wouldn't have worked anyway to swap the crank into the other block because the main journals are slightly smaller on the newer DIS 8-plug engines / heads than the older ones. So the rod bearings and all that stuff, journals all the same, but the mains on the earlier ones is 2.3986 and the newer version is 2.2055. And I have a picture of two main caps side by side. You can actually see a physical difference. So the bearings that I had ordered for this engine were wrong for the mains, and I had to reorder them. I am running really good Malley main bearings, and I'm running the really good Speed Pro rod bearings because it's a boosted application. Now, that's not even just the beginning of it all. Once I got the head off and started checking out the head, I found that the head was cracked in between the valves on every cylinder, which I'll throw a picture up so you can see that as well. So that head was scrapped. That's the 8-plug head. They're apparently prone for this problem. So I did have another 4-plug head, and I thought, well, I'll just swap the head over. So I took that one all apart, cleaned it all up, and yes, that head was decent. So I continued with that head. Later to find out that the manifold is different. So now I can't use the original upper or lower intake. I have to convert back over to the triple square intake. That's okay because I have lots of those parts. So we just upgrade to the triple square style intake manifold. We're also going to go to the Thunderbird style throttle body, which is a lot bigger than the stock. Now with the head, I did put the roller cam from Turbo Mustang's old motor. So this head's been port matched. It was an NA head, so I cleaned out the hearts of the combustion chamber. I can put a picture of that or a video of that. I also have a video of the porting that I've done to it. I've installed the roller cam, older style aluminum valve cover. And then I've also made a T and everything for the turbo feed lines for this. So this head is all reassembled and ready to go. Matched with the Ganari turbo manifold with external wastegate. We have all those parts and pieces ready to go. I have everything else all ready to go. I am also switching from the aluminum pan to the steel pan, and I've plumbed it for the turbo drain here. It's just more friendly to plumb the steel pan than it is the ribbed aluminum pan. Now that we're trying to absorb all that information, because I still am, we're going to start to reassemble the block and mic the bearings and see if we're in spec and continue building the bottom end. Okay, so we got the crank sitting in the new bearings, just sitting in place. We tidied it up, cleaned it up a bit. Now we're going to cut a little bit of the plastic gauge. So the range for these bearings is 2 to 3 thou clearance for the oil. So we've chosen a 0.2 to 0.6 thou plastic gauge material. We're going to torque the cap down. First step is 50 to 60. Second step is 80 to 90. And then we're going to pull it off. We're going to use the paper here just to make sure that our oil clearance is intact. We're going to do that to each one. And then from there, we'll continue on with the build. You don't need very much, just need a little bit. Sometimes you need tweezers. Once you have your plastic gauge in place, make sure you don't turn the crankshaft because it'll turn the plastic gauge up and you want to get a nice even hit. Now we're torqued up, we can take her off and have a look. So what we are essentially left with is a little mark, a little red mark. We're going to take our paper, measure it, and just up at 3 thou. You can see that there. So that is within spec. So make sure that you pick off any of the plastic gauge. Don't leave anything on. Clean the bearings and leave the bearings when you're putting it back together. From here, we're going to mic the rest, make sure they're all good, and we're going to assemble the bottom end and get it torqued and get this thing, at least the bottom end, back together for now. Now personally, I'm going to use assembly lube for my bearings. Just put a thin coat on. Some people like to use white grease, but I use assembly lube. I'm going to put the rear main seal on now with the crankshaft. I find it's easier and cleaner. So I want to put a little bit of silicone lube or white grease or assembly lube just on the seal so you don't tear it and it goes onto the crank nice. But on the outside I put a skim of silicone just to ensure that I got a good seal. I'm going to apply it to the back of the block here, as well as around the back of the rear main cap. Because in this section of the rear main cap, it can actually leak from these corners. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a skim. Once you've got that all accomplished, you can put your seal on your crankshaft. You'll have to adjust it as you're dropping the crank down in place. And you go ahead and put your main caps on. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque them. I'm going to start in the center and I'm going to work my way outward. Starting with the torque of 55. Now we're ready to move on to step 2, torque them at 90. Final step, 90 foot-pounds. Turn it over a couple of times, make sure it's smooth and you got no binding going on. It feels nice and good. So we're happy with that. Moving on. Welcome back. All right, so getting things moving along here. What I've done is I have pulled a ring off of Turbo Rustang's piston, the forged piston, and sat it in the cylinder just to check to make sure and verify that the ring gap has actually been adjusted for boosted application. So I'll put a thing up on the top here that shows that usually with your piston rings it'll come, and depending on what application you have, you nitrous or supercharged or turbo or whatever application, it'll give you a calculation of what roughly what ring end gap to run. I'd like to see 26 thou as per that chart. I have put a ring inside here and checked it, and it's at 30 thou. So I'm assuming that the person before me that built Turbo Rustang's motor built it a little bit loose. It's better to be a little bit loose and a little bit tight, because if you make too much heat and the ring end gap touches, then you're going to seize the ring. So I'll put a picture up of how I tested it with feeler gauge, and from now we're going to continue on with getting this rotating assembly together. Always make sure your arrows are pointing forward. A torque for the caps are 25 to 30 for the first step and 30 to 36 for the second. So we'll do a 25 and a 36. I always like to turn it over, make sure everything's good after you do one, make sure there's no binding or weird sounds. Okay, since I forgot to show you the oil spec for the number 4 Conrod, we're going to double check that right now. So again, we're 2 to 3 thou allowable oil clearance, and we have our 3 thou. Might be really hard to see, but when you line it up, 3 thou, so we are in spec for those. Make sure always clean up your pasta gauge out of there. That'll just cause you grief. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of this back together, and I'll see you after that. All right, now we've got everything all buttoned up in the bottom, all torqued up and everything. So we're going to move on to the oil pump and oil pan. There's a little oil pump drive shaft here. It goes in one way. I marked it so I knew, but make sure that when you put it in that it goes in the correct way and that it's actually grabbing the pump like it's supposed to. All right, well that about does it for today. We've got bottom end done, oil pan in, pistons in, most of the accessories back on. I've just sat the cylinder head on for now as I'm still waiting for ARP head studs. I ordered them in January, still haven't showed up yet. I called Jegs a month ago. They promised me that they'd be any time now. Guess I gotta call again and find out where they're at. But in the meantime, with the head at least sitting on here with 2 bolts, I can do the mock-up of the turbo drain and see how the turbo and stuff is going to fit so I don't have any problems later at last minute. So we'll get that stuff figured out, and probably next video, probably go back over to the Mach 1 and start a little bit of the standalone stuff with that car maybe. Also have parts on back order for that car, so parts suck right now to get. So with that being said, I'm going to get the stuff cleaned up and go inside and make some dinner. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you later.